Hello all, in this particular tutorial we will learn how to set up the mirroring in SQL Server. The mirroring is the concept, it's an HA concept where you can have a database on one instance running, and if that instance crashes, then automatically it can fail over to another instance. So I've got three instances here, and I'm going to show it to you the names of these instances. So I got this is the node one. So I got three instances here. This is the first instance. This is the second instance. I'm going to put it here, and this is the third instance. Now, if you check, the instance name is exactly same. The node name changes. So first node is 1. The second, okay. So I think I connected to the same here. Disconnect, disconnect, connect. This should be 2. And let me disconnect from here. And let's say new query and execute. So you can see we got node 2 here. So let's now put it here. So these are the three instances that I got on my machine. Node 1, node 2, node 3. So that this will be, to start with, this will be principal. This will be mirror or secondary. And this will be witness. Now witness is not mandatory. Witness is optional. But if you don't have the witness, then you will not be able to do auto failover. So this is optional. But if you don't have the witness, you will not be able to do auto failover. So first thing that we'll do is we'll create a new database. We'll create a new database. You can give whatever name you want. So let's say DB mirror. I'm going to create a new database. That's done. One of the most important requirement for mirroring is your database should be in the full recovery model. So it should be in the full recovery model. So to see whether the database is in the full recovery model, you can right click on the database, click on the properties, go to the options, and here you can see recovery model is full. Otherwise, you can run a command called sp help db, and when you hit the execute, you will be able to see that this particular database DB mirror, and here recovery is full. So this is your database. Now the next part is we need to also create a logging which will be used for your mirroring. So you can let's go ahead and go to the security and say logins, and right click on say new mirror, and you can use any existing. Let me say DB mirroring. Let me create this particular logging, and if you want, you can create a SQL Windows logging as well. That is also fine. So let me create this particular logging called DB mirroring, or let me put it into there. Let's say login for mirroring. And since I'm going SQL Server, I don't want to enforce the password policy. In your organization, you should enforce the password policy. And click on OK. Now, what we'll do, we need to create this particular logging on all the nodes. So I'm going to take this, and it says disable. So let's enable this. And let's take this, and let's hit this, create this logging on all of these three machines. So I'm going to take that login, and I'm going to create it on all three of the machines. That's done. So we have created a login. Now, what we need also is we need to take a full backup, and we need to restore it on the standby server. So to do that, let's take a task, and let's say backup. And here we are saying take the full backup. You can see we are taking the full backup. So you can click on OK. That's done. We also need to take a log backup. So let's try to take a log backup. And you can change the name of the backup file, or you can keep the same, doesn't matter. So let's remove it, and let's add a backup name. So let's say db mirror dot trn, because this is a transaction log backup. Click OK, click OK. So the backup the T-log backup is also completed. We need to transfer this backup. We need to be able to transfer this backup because we need to restore this on the second node. As you can see, my setup is, so I've created the database here. I've taken the backup. We need to be able to restore it on the second instance. So the second server needs to be able to access that. So place the backup on a shared location. I got, I don't know whether, okay, so let's see. Okay, that's fine. So what we'll do, okay. So what we will do is we will go to that location where the backup is stored, and that particular backup is, it was on the server 1. So you can either go to that particular server, but I know where is that backup. So let's say win node 19.1 and D drive. So it is in the D drive. So under D drive, SQL 22 backup, and you can see we got the backup and we got the TRN file. Now transfer this particular backup to the second node. So we can modify the same location. So here, instead of node 1, I'll say node 2 because I need to transfer it. And you can see this particular directory is empty. So I copied both of the files. Now what we need to do is we need to go to the second node. So this is the second node or second instance. You can see node 2. And here we don't have a database called DB mirror. So let's click on databases, click on restore database, and click on device, and click on these 3 dots, add where is your backup file under the same location. So select that particular backup file and click on OK. Now remember one thing, go to the options and say restore with no recovery. This is very important. You need to say restore with no recovery. I'm going to show it to you one more time. So click on the databases, click on the restore database, select the device, choose three dots, add, select the backup file, click OK, go to the options and say restore with no recovery. Then click OK, and that's done. So we have restored the database. Now what we need to do is we still need to restore. So let's say again restore, say transaction log backup from device. Again, choose the TRN backup. So here is the TRN backup. Click OK, go to the options and say the same thing, restore with no recovery. Your database on the standby should be in the no recovery mode. So that's done. We have restored the database. So the database is in the restoring mode. Now let's go back to the first node and right click on the database. So right click on the database and click on the task and click on the mirror. So here, this particular screen, we are going to use this particular screen to configure the mirroring. First thing is the security. As I told you, we need to configure the security. So let's say configure security. Click on next. Do you want to configure security to include a witness? Yes, we need witness as well. So click on the next, and you can see here principal, mirror, and witness. Click on next. And what is the port? So this is the port. This is the mirroring port. This is the mirroring port, and here what will happen is like a new port called a new TCP endpoint called mirroring with 5022 will get created. Click on next. Then you need to select the second instance. So let's say win1922. So let's choose the second instance. Click on connect. Again, this you can choose a different port or you can keep the same port, but because we are doing this on a second instance, I'm going to choose the same port. And next we need to choose the witness server. So let's say win node 19.3 and SQL. So you can see here. So now, and again, you can choose a different port or the same port. Now let me repeat this, what I've done. So I went to configure security, click on next. Do you want to configure security to include? I said yes to this. Click on next, click on next. First one is principal 5022 mirroring. That looks good. Click on next. This is the mirror. So where is your mirror? So win19 node 2 SQL 22 inst1. That's good. And next, the witness win22 node 3 SQL. So the node 1 is principal, node 2 is mirror, and node 3 is witness. And here you can connect, and same, you can choose the same port or you can choose a different port. Click on next. Now here you need to give the service accounts which will be used as this one. So you can see that we have created a service account called login mirroring, and we are going to use that service account. So we created a login. Remember, we created a login called login mirroring. I'm going to use the same service account across all three. So login mirroring, login mirroring, login, because we have created this account, and click on next. And here it gives you this particular summary. You can see there will be a service account and it will have a permission for connecting to the endpoint. So we are going to create this, and let's say finish. And if everything goes fine, then this one will create two actions. One, it will create a mirroring endpoints, and second, it will grant the mirroring connection to the service account that we have set. So now that's done. So you can see here it automatically pre-populated this, and here you can see I can say do not start mirroring because I want to explain this. You can say start mirroring because everything looks good, or you can say do not start mirroring. And here you can see there are multiple options. One is the high performance asynchronous. One is high safety without automatic failover. Since we have chosen the witness, automatically it has gone for high safety with automatic failover. If we did not have the witness, so if I remove this witness, you can see that it goes for high safety without automatic failover. And as soon as I put back that witness, it goes with automatic failover. Now let's go back and look at the databases. So if I say, if I close this, and if I say refresh, then here you can see this database as a DB mirror. Here you can say it is in the restoring mode. And on the third instance, we do not have any databases. On the third node, we do not have any databases. Now what we are going to do, let me close all of this. So now what we are going to do, we are going to go to here and we are going to say start mirroring. And as soon as I say start mirroring, here you will be able to see, and I don't want to explain it to you, but what you will see is the database will convert as principal synchronizing. So right now the mirroring has been set up, and whatever changes that you do on the primary will appear on the standby. Now right now the mirroring is happening. So the node 1 is principal, node 2, let's refresh this, is mirror and synchronize restoring. So it looks good. So now let's actually do one thing. Let's say new query and let's create a table. So let's create, because this is a completely empty. So let's go ahead and create a table. So you can see I don't have any tables. There are no tables. So let's create a table called employee. That's done. And let's insert first record in our employee table. That's done. And now if I go to the tables, refresh, you can see I have an employee table. Select, you can see I got one record. So this is the first employee which has joined our organization. Now we cannot select from this because it's in the restoring mode. But now something happens. So let's say something happens to the node 1. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop this service. So let's say we are going to stop this particular service. Now, let's see what exactly happens. Give it a minute. And you can click here, task. Okay. So not sure whether it's stopped, but if it is not stopped, let's go to that particular node. So we'll connect to that particular node. And let's see if that particular service is stopped. And for some reason it did not stop. So let's actually stop it one more time. And then let's go back to here. Let's close this and let's see what exactly happens here. And you can see it's now the node 2 automatically became principal and it is disconnected. But what I wanted to show you, the principal, it has become the principal. So we did not do this. The automatically it was done. So if I now say select at sorry, if I say select star from employee, we should be able to get the first record. We should be able to get the first record. And you can see our first record rock has appeared in our organization. Now at this moment, what happens if the SQL service starts back? So the first service starts back, and let's see what exactly happens to our mirroring. So refresh, and you can see it says principal, and here this is a node 1, this is the original node. And if I do refresh and if I click on the database, you can see that this has gone into mirror synchronized restoring. So now this the original node has become the original principal has become the standby or the mirror, and the mirror has become the principal. And now if I create one more employee, so let's insert one more let's insert two more employees. So now from the node 2, I'm going to insert 2 records. That's done. Let's verify this. And now if I wanted to do a failover, then what you can do, you can say task mirror, and you can, if you wanted to pause, you can pause it. If you want to remove, you can remove. But if you want to fail over, you can fail over. So I'm going to fail it over. And once I fail over, then what will happen is the node 2 will become the mirror. As you can see, node 2 has become the mirror, and the old mirror will become the primary. So let's say refresh, and this became the primary. And if I now select from here, I should get 3 records: rock, water, and air. So here, as you can see, we got all of 3 employees back in our database. So I hope this particular tutorial was useful. In this particular tutorial, we learned how to configure the principal, how to configure the mirror, how to configure the witness, how to do a forced failover, and how to do a graceful failover. Thank you for watching and see you in next tutorial. Bye bye.